All right, all right. My bad about that. Cheers up, Peg Drip. Cheers up, cheers up. So what did I
Cheers
miss?
up. Salud.
Salud, salud, amigo. What I miss? Who got picked? We had 12, I think, just go right now, right?
12. What was 12? OKC?
OKC.
Oh my god, they picked Topich. And I
Oh,
called it right
perfect.
before. I don't know if you could have clipped it, but it was like 5 seconds before and I called it.
I'll clip it from 5 minutes ago and I'll get that one.
All right.
But yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I
So
was
it'll
like,
it'll,
I
it'll
was like,
capture
don't
it.
tell me this is Topich because this is what OKC does. Every year they get the guy that shouldn't be there at 12 or shouldn't be there at wherever, and this is just typical OKC. This is the new Spurs. The Spurs are the OKC is the new Spurs. Remember the Spurs used to just get the craziest players at the lowest numbers. You're like, how?
Or
You have
trade
22
or
picks
trade
in,
George Hill for Kawhi Leonard.
right? Yeah, yeah,
The rights for Kawhi
yes.
Leonard. I forget who else I
What a
threw into
night!
that.
What
It
a
was like,
night to get Kawhi. That
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no. Yeah, the OKC Thunder are constantly doing right by that. They did miss last year on, apparently they were going to go after Daniel Gafford or PJ Washington or both. I can't remember. They were trying to do what the Mavericks did last season, but
right.
opted out and went for Gordon Hayward instead. So we'll see what they do this year because I know that OKC is in very much gung ho, let's go forward mode. The fact that they still kept all their picks with the Josh Giddey trade is still how they, even without making the sexy picks in the draft, still do sexy moves all the time. Kills me, kills me.
I can't wait to see what happens at 15 because I know you're from Chicago and everything, born and raised, but I
No,
know
no,
the
actually,
Heat
no,
is
no, no,
where
no.
you.
I was born in Peru, raised in Florida. I've been living here for 8 years, but that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Chicago. Like I'm a Florida guy. I grew up in Florida.
Devin Carter to the
The
Kings.
Kings.
The
You had
Kings.
him going to Miami, so thank God that Sacramento has him instead. That your Chris Duhon and Derek Fisher comps can go and stay over there with Sacramento. Just kidding. Chris
Yeah.
Duhon was actually pretty
So
good
his
basketball.
pops, his pops is Anthony Carter. If
Anthony
you
Carter,
remember
yep, the
Anthony
Miami Heat.
Carter,
Mm-hmm.
and he played for the Heat. So
He
like I
played for the
thought that could be cool. That's why I had him mocked at 15. I didn't think that he could really slip into this, the late lottery like that and the slip higher or raise. I should say not slip because slip is something that you go down. But wow, I even thought 15 was high, respectfully. But I like what he
Yeah,
brings.
still no Jacoby Walker. This is one player that I thought would go higher. Magnum Cole says.
Oh no, I'm lower on Jacoby Walter. I was just saying Jabari. I don't know why Jabari Parker almost came out of my mouth.
It's okay. It's
Jacoby
all the same.
Walter.
Well, not all the same, but yeah.
No, no, not at all. But yeah, I don't know why. Like you said it, and it Jabari Parker came out of my mouth. But Jacoby Walter, that guy is more of like honestly, he's closer to a Grady Dick than anything to me. Like he's a decent connector, set shooter. I don't want to see too much extra stuff from him. He's a role guy in my eyes, and I would pick him around the 20s.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Devin Carter is going to be doing for the Sacramento Kings. It's just the positional fit. I mean, do you really need another guard?
It's a strange pick. Maybe they're going to move off Davion Mitchell and do something a little different there. He's a bigger guard. He's lanky. He's 6'2", so he's not too much taller than Davion Mitchell, but he really knows how to use his size, and I think he has about like a 6'8" wingspan. So he's like got broad shoulders and everything. He boxes out. He plays hard.
But you see, if I were, for instance, looking at like the Sacramento, like Spurs, or not the Sacramento Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, I would be looking at just like small level moves, like getting somebody like a Davion Mitchell. If I were the Heat, that's where I'd be looking too. I think a guy like that, a former lottery pick that can lock dudes up, and when he has the chance, when he has the rock, I mean, I think on the right team, Davion Mitchell still has something to go and give. So sometimes you want to go and get the new toy from the draft, but other times you have guys who can, who are just in a bad situation. I don't know that Davion Mitchell has had a good situation in Sacramento for a while now.
Yeah. My only fear is that, like, everything I was looking into about him, he's always been a really good rebounder, but he was I just know
He's 6'2"
don't know
and a half, 6'8" wingspan.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. He's really lanky. He's got broad shoulders. He's a lanky guy, 6'8" wingspan. But he's a bigger guard, even though he's only 6'2". But I think he blossomed already. That's where I see with him, and I think is my one fear with Devin Carter. So I had him mocked to like a Chris Duhon, Derek Fisher, defensive guy, can knock down the outside shot, responsible with the rock, plays defense, solid player. He's going to box the shooter out. He's not lazy. Every single time a shot goes out, he's going to box his shooter. Like, I like him. He's a very fundamental player. I just don't know if it's going to bring you to the next step.
What is this trade that we have going on? What is this trade? Is this like a proposed trade that's out there right now for this, or is it?
No, Denny Avdia got traded about an hour ago, right before the draft. Right before the draft, Denny Avdia.
I must have missed that. Man, They got me all sorts of messed up. I never miss any.
There's so much going on. It's hectic,
but it's just
dog.
Soccer. We're doing a lot of soccer now, so we were doing a soccer stream right before this. So no. So that was a trade for Denny Avdia going to the. I love that for the Blazers, actually.
Yeah,
that's a great move for the Blazers.
So I published my mock draft. 3 trades happened after I published my mock draft as well. So some of this stuff is kind of off, and I tried to anticipate what trades were talked about prior. There was Memphis trading up 9 in Marcus Smart.
I didn't see that one.
3. There were so many different trades like that were brought up. Detroit even wanted to trade 3. At one point, it was brought up and then connect Musar with Amen. Like, I've heard nuts stuff from some of these top reporters, and it just throws you off. The more you hear it, I'm trying to judge the basketball player, but I also don't know the person. I also don't know the organization and what they're going through and what they want to do. So I have about 20% of the information I really need to make an informed decision, but I still try to do this, and I'm not afraid to be wrong. But I try to go with what I have.
All right, well, let's see here for Portland again.
Bubs is high.
That's
high for Bubs on a weird
I was literally about to say, dude, I think he could probably go pretty high. I'm looking at your rankings, and I'm like, I think this kid has something. From Kentucky, right? That's where he's from, Kentucky?
No, he's not from Kentucky.
Where is he from?
He's from Pitt.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Wrong guy then.
So he has a really good pull-up game, right? That's his whole game is pull-ups. But the thing is he's only a little bigger than Simons, and Simons is just a pull-up guy. So they have a duplicative style that I don't know if this is the smartest pick.
It probably means Simons is gone then, I would have to imagine.
He's a little bit bigger. Like I said, he's a little bit bigger than Simons. He's got a great feel for the game. He kind of weaves in between the offense a lot. He's got a little bit of a Darius Garland to him, even though he's much bigger. Garland's about 6'1". But with him, that's impressive. Bob Carrington. I see a D'Angelo Russell, Ramon Sessions type player.
Yeah, I'm watching him right now on here. I guess one thing is his release on his 3-point shot. I don't know if that's a good release or if that's a little bit I don't know. I'm still keeping an eye on it.
It's pretty clean. It's a very fluid motion. I've watched it from side angles where the camera is from the 3-point, and I like the way he brings it up. There doesn't seem to be a hitch.
I'm in that in-between camp, whether it's a little bit whether it's one of those really hard to block 3-point shots or whether it's one of those that's a little bit too late on the release and it could get blocked. But it's an interesting jump shot that he has. But I think that the overlap in terms of talent, I think, we're pretty much going to see Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons go someplace. Malcolm Brogdon's already gone to Washington, right, based on the one trade. So
I had him going. So he's known as Bub Carrington. Carlton is his real name. And Wow.
Bob
14.
Carrington.
So they got Scoot and Bub. That's not their real names. So I kind of like that. That's fun. It's a fake backcourt. They're a bunch of aliases. Because Scoot's first name is Sterling. Sterling. Not many people know that, but that's Scoot's real first name. And then Bub is Carlton. So they have some old English names. Carlton and Sterling.
That's hilarious. Carlton and Bub. Oh man. Well, my Heat are up next. So
Let's go.
you guys, while you guys are here in the draft right now.
Let's see a little Khalil Ware action. I love Khalil Ware for you guys. He would be like Hassan Whiteside, but with a good head on his shoulders and coachable.
We really just need a center so bad, but we're always we're just never doing that.
He's
Clint
that
Capella,
guy.
Derek Lively is the comp that you have for him.
He's got range. I'm telling you, he's got a little bit of a three. He's a unique player.
Really?
It's hard to actually compare him to somebody, but Lively was a good option as of right now, just fresh in my mind and some recency bias. But a 7-footer that could run the floor, high cardio, catch lobs, even knock a corner three down, and also knows how to pass. Like, he's a great option. He's a great player. He's been labeled lazy, but if he's averaging 16 and 10 being lazy, imagine if he applies himself.
I am never, ever, ever going to hear anybody tell me that someone is lazy and doesn't love the sport from a draft ever again, because Anthony Edwards, when they said that about him, and
oh my God.
And I went with my keeper draft to go and draft Killian Hayes instead because of that. I kicked myself for many years, but I made up with it. I got Killian Hayes instead of Anthony Edwards. I was looking at the both of them. And the guy who ended up drafting Anthony Edwards that year also had Luka Doncic as a keeper. We faced each other in the championship this past year. J-Dub and Tyrese Halliburton versus Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic. You know how that went. I lost. But Killian Hayes, man. But yeah, that's the thing is figuring out a motor is different when you're playing in college and you're there, with all the honeys in college. You got you're big man on campus. It's just different versus being in the NBA. You're a professional athlete. You're making millions. This is like endorsement money. It's just you might get a different light under your ass. And so, yeah. I don't want to hear about the motor ever from the draft guys because it's just something that you can't put on a piece of paper, right?
Right. It really is. So, yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take Khalil Ware. I'll also take Furphy. I think he's an interesting.
Furphy's a madman.
I like him being able to be on this team to be able to because you have Trevor Ariza as sort of a comp for him, and I do think that we need a guy like that, somebody who can slash, somebody who can just do a little bit of everything on the floor. 3-level scorer is really what we need. Because Jimmy Butler, he's a 1.5, 2-level scorer. He barely hits the 3. So having somebody who can do a little bit of everything on the floor is what we need.
He's a high-level shooter. I would say 38% or higher for his career. Like he's one of those guys.
Mr. Young B is saying that we want Dalton Neck.
Dalton Connect. That would be interesting. He would just be another 6'5" white shooting guard on the Heat.
Ooh, I don't know if I can do that. I can't. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go and pass on that
with
one.
a third white bucket on the Heat.
This would remind me again of who's that one white guy that we had a couple years ago?
Had Strus. You got Robinson.
Well, Max Strus is one of the good ones. Yes, Duncan Robinson.
And then you got Hero.
In the Heart Forever and Hero. Yes. Gotta add to the collection. Need another Doug McDermott.
Right, absolutely. You need another Doug McDermott. Bring him in. Bring him on.
That would be such a Pat Riley move, though. This would be a Pat Riley move.
It would be. He's a real Kobe guy. Heat culture.
No, we're gonna go with Kyle Filipowski. That's what it's gonna be. Your NBA comparison trajectory is Kelly Olynyk and Boris Dia. The Heat want Kelly Olynyk back so bad right now. That's who we're going with, I bet.
That would be interesting to go to Miami here for Filipowski.
I would say Jurasek, who you have, Nikola Jurasek, wouldn't be the worst either, I think. I think he would be a very interesting fit.
Yeah, Jurasek he's a guy, high ceiling. He is a high ceiling, low floor guy. So you're either getting a guy who could kind of just play basketball, kind of like Giddey in like a bad situation, or you're getting somebody who is actually a real game changer. He's hard to assess, with what he does. he also plays with Nikola Topic.
Interesting.
So he's familiar with him. They both have a similar kind of game. They both operate the pick and roll a lot, and they open in space. But that's the Euro game. You know, you have at least 4 guys who could dribble and facilitate.
Well, I'm happy for the Bulls right now to go and get that. Last year, Butler probably Sue was the most NBA ready. Next, no, not last year. Butler is still going. I don't want to hear it anymore. Get the rumors out of here. He's not going to Philly. Actually, I'm hearing PG to the Warriors. That didn't happen yet, right?
No, I didn't. That didn't happen yet in my eyes. But this is going to be an interesting pick. Jacoby Walter doesn't fit. He's a set shooting 3 guy. I don't think you guys need that. Jared McCain, he's a hustle guy. He's kind of like a small Josh Hart. Let's see.
Let's see it.
Khalil Ware!
7-footer. Let's go. We got a center finally.
Let's go.
I'll take the center. Finally. He just got a dog, Mr. Youngie says.
That's a big dub, bro. I would say
I'm happy with it.
I want to say that Khalil Ware could be my second lock of the draft. I'm so much higher on Khalil Ware than I am of a lot of these other guys in the draft that are in the top 30. And people have mocked Khalil Ware all the way to – I've seen Khalil Ware go into the Celtics at 30 at some mocks this week. In
That's
like
crazy.
big-time mocks, like on the Ringer or the Athletic. One of the mocks had him at 30, and I'm like, that's insane. I put out a tweet. I said, everyone's too low on Khalil Ware. So I love what he could do. Bro, if you even understood what this guy did in college, you would be amazed.
Well, I want to see the game tape right now. That's the thing and that's why I have you in here, Patrick. I mean, I can only keep up so much with college.
And you made a guy that wasn't exactly like the 99 everything, but was like a 90 big man. Like he could do everything a big man could do.
If he could do what Lively did last year for Dallas, I'm all with it.
Bro, look at his sophomore year, Indiana. 16 and 10 on 60%.
59% field goal percentage. I love that. That's one thing I love. And the rebounding numbers.
So much as a player over the years. I seen him at Oregon last year. I seen him at Indiana this year.
Holy shit.
He's different, bro. He's literally a created player. He is the created player, not Alex Sarr. It's Khalil Ware.
Damn. He can shoot too. See, that changes the game for us.
Bro, nobody knows about him.
He's going to start right off the bat. Damn. That is, oh, man. I almost want to cry, too, and say, thank you, Miami. I appreciate you for giving us another, man,
Oh, my God. To add a 7'1" guy with this type of athleticism to the Heat is insane. Because now you got Bam, you could throw him at the 4, and that's a threat. That's a big-time threat.
No, I mean, this is fantastic for us. This is exactly what we need. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to – well, it depends. If he really does have that shooting potential, then, yeah, he's going to run with Bam on the floor. More likely what happens is that he plays behind Bam and is, his backup. But we've never had a good backup behind Bam Adebayo, and I think that got us into a lot of trouble this year. And if you want to keep Bam Adebayo playing at his best, we can't go and run him out 40 minutes a night for the next freaking 6 years of his career. It's just but yeah, running them both out together to go close the game too. We could maybe do that. Running him with a hedge offense, run him at the center, run Jimmy Butler right there, right next to him. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with him. So very happy. We have a couple guys right now. Jovic. We have, of course, Jaime Jaquez Jr. And now we have this guy. I mean, that's a very nice nucleus. Jovic actually had some really nice minutes for us last year. So very excited to build on the nucleus that we have right there. Yeah, I'm. It didn't sound like I'm very pumped. I'm pretty pumped about this. I'm just.
Bro, you should be thrilled.
I'm just trying to take in the fact, in my head, I'm trying to just understand if this is real or not, because Pat Riley has been unwilling to go. The furthest he's ever gotten into bringing in a center was getting Thomas Bryant last year. That's the most. Otherwise, it's been
late. That was a late draft pick. He knows what he's doing up here in the top.
Yeah.
Because 15th pick is the last pick. 14th is the last pick of the lottery. But we'll say 15th is also there.
We can
too.
go there too. Yep.
Yeah. Anything past 15, I won't consider. But 15 is, I'll say that's late lottery. Yeah, I'm very happy with what the Heat did. Let's see what the Sixers do though. Same conference, also going in the playoff hunt. You know, what are they gonna do? Ooh, a Dalton Connect, somebody who could score from the wing.
I like that. I mean, Philly's going to have, they have the whole entire summer for them to go and get some more addition on their team. They're the team that I think is going to be the biggest, improvement over this, this offseason with being able to
I think
bring in a million
Filipowski
players.
would be a great option. He also played some basketball in Western Mass. He went to Wilbraham Munson Academy, which is a prep school right there in Springfield, right? Springfield, Mass, where I'm from. And so, yeah, I've known about Filipowski since he was in high school. And that guy was always the talk of the town. So, yeah, he's big time. I root for Filipowski.
We'll see with the 76ers.
Local kid. I hope he goes. I don't really like Philly. I'm going to be honest. Philly and the Celtics, we've never really been buddy-buddy with the 76ers, but I root for him.
Nick will contribute to a contender immediately. Kind of hope he falls a little bit further, Mr. Young B says.
Me
that's
too.
what he says right
Mr.
there.
Young, I have him fall into the Magic at 18, and that's going to be the pick of the lifetime.
Man, he would be the perfect kind of player the way that you're describing him for the Magic. They would need a guy just like that, especially when they had Klay Thompson this summer.
Right. Ooh.
I don't know, man. I'm not of the camp. I think that this is just so much smoke. I think that they're going to agree on something and Klay's going to go and stay on the Warriors.
Me too. It seems like it's a little bit of smoke. It seems like the Magic are doing just whatever they can with their cap space as like just a bluff. And yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's where I am with it. So I just kind of threw it out there just to go and sort of laugh about it. But all this like Klay Thompson unfollowed this people and did this and did that. It's like, nah, this is just typical stuff that all these agencies do during this time of the year.
Jonathan Gavoni sounds like me with Mata Buzelis. The way how mad he is that Dalton Connect fell on his draft board. He's like, he needs to get picked right now.
Well, we'll see, man. We're gonna go and we're gonna have it for the Chicago Pulse community and be like, yo, guys, we got the number one pick for Pack Drip's mock draft. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. No, I am feeling actually good about that because legitimately, man, I know a lot about basketball, know a lot about hoops, NBA basketball in particular, but not as much when it comes to college. But you have a breadth of knowledge with this stuff. And the thing is some people know college sports, but they don't know how to go and evaluate college basketball talent and how it'll translate in the NBA. So right. You know that language. So when I watch the draft, I generally know I can look at a guy and be like, okay, this guy looks like something that's going to go and pan out for this team for X, Y, and Z. But you can color it in such a way you already know ahead of time who these guys are. So definitely have to go and thank you for being in here with us. And, definitely keep popping up those mock drafts next year. Go and tag the hell out of us, and we'll definitely go and share it so we can talk smack all the way to the end. But, yeah, man, really happy that we got the Chicago, kid over with us. And he was number one on your board, and he's there for a reason. If you saw him, being that guy, then
I am mind blown that he went 11th. Like, the fact that he slid like that. Oh, man, he's going to hold on to that forever. He's going to be one of those guys.
Looks like there's a trade right now that Mr. Young B is talking about. Tyler Kolek will be a solid pick late. We got some kind of a trade happening right now. What trade?
What's the trade? Send
Bub?
it, Bub.
Is he saying Bub?
Bubsy's traded. I knew it was a weird pick. That's why I said Portland should not trade for Bub Carrington. It's kind of weird, and they already got 3 guys that are like Bub or more. Ooh, trade. Wizards. Good. Bub.
You call this out. You called out the questionable fit in Portland.
It made no sense.
Right. You did call that out. You're like, I don't know if they're going to trade this or what.
Mm-hmm. McCain! They got him.
Man, the 76ers are just too good, man.
A lot of people had this guy lower. People weren't really talking about him. You know, there's a lot of guys that are higher talented than him, but you're talking about a guy that can fit a role. It's this guy right here. You want a guy that could potentially develop into a maybe not a Derek White, but something slightly below that. Maybe a Danny Green. I think this is the Danny Green guy, a guy that will hit the three at over 38% on a consistent basis.
And get you a block here and there. The block and free guy.
A block, a steal, and he's going to really like produce from the defensive end. He's that guy
that kills it for your fantasy team, but he only hits like 12 points a game, but he's hitting like 30, 40 points like in fantasy scoring.
Yeah, McCain is great in a deep league.
Exactly, man.
But he's gonna get the minutes, and he's gonna always produce. This guy's solid. Him and what's his name, Filipowski. They both are like they paint their nails. They're very modern,
very eccentric.
Yeah.
Very millennial.
Yeah, they're super millennials, Zoomers or whatever they're called. I don't know what the next generation after millennial is.
Oh wait, no, the millennial. The what do they call them?
Gen Alpha, I think.
Yeah, Gen Alpha. That's what it is.
Like he's like Gen Alpha. Mm-hmm. They're definitely eccentric, but we're so old now. It's funny because
I'm a millennial. I'm so old that I even said millennial. I meant Gen Zers.
I know you said millennial. I'm like, bro.
Gen Zers.
Look,
but like,
what
no.
I'm talking about. Look at him.
But now it's Gen Alpha. That's what the new shit is.
His nails. I told you. I know what I'm talking about.
Dude, seriously. I mean, that's all we have you on. Mr. OB says,
see, this is what I'm saying. I've done my deep dives, bro, and he's strange, but I think he's strange enough. I like it. Look at him.
I mean,
he's a down and dirty guy. He reminds me. He's got a little bit of Marcus Smart in him as that dog.
I like this fit for Philly.
Yep. And this is a way better pick than what they did back in the day. Remember Zaire Smith?
Smith.
This is a guy who comped similarly but couldn't shoot. I would say they were similar players. Maybe even Smith was a better defensive player because he was a little bit bigger, a little stronger. But what this guy could do on the defensive end is he will guard the best player. Like when they play Milwaukee, guess who's guarding Dame Lillard? McCain. You know? And this is the guy who will do it. So I like the situation for him.
Yeah, no, it's and remember Zaire Smith actually gets traded, I think, for Mikal Bridges, if I'm not mistaken. Something happened there between Zaire Smith and Mikal Bridges, but never will forget the interlocked fate between those two guys. But let's see right here. Was that his brother?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, this guy's he's coming into a league, and we'll see how much his very outward manner sticks in the NBA. The flowers might be a bit much. Him dancing for TikTok will let him fall off of any board completely.
Who's the quarterback that paints his nails and stuff this year? Caleb Williams?
I think it's Caleb Williams, from the Chicago Bears. Yeah.
People are talking about, he'll fall on my draft board because of that. It's funny.
Yeah, no, we're going through a whole thing right there. That's why I said I'm old. Can't dig it.
Yeah, because, I mean, you got Shea, who's now, like, with Skims. It's the NBA's thing. You know, so there's a little bit of a phase going on in the league. And I'm like, this guy, he fits the phase. He fits the style, the look of what teams are going for. Jalen Green even paints his nails. There's so many players. Clarkson.
It's
a shooting guard thing.
It could be a shooting guard thing because actually in NBA 2K, what some people do is like they put on like the finger tape. So it's almost like it's not like actual like, like fingernails or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But on any lock that you have, you put like the finger tape on each one of your fingers. So when you're defending players, you got like you can see exactly your wingspan and it helps you have a visual like thing.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no, but people actually do that. Like that's a thing where you put all 5 on your hands for a lock.
Okay.
So that's where you see some of it. I could see that happening where like somebody wants to like have the peripherals of like their hands being out. You know, you got like 7 foot wingspan and you want to be able to see from like the corner of your eye, sort of where things
Yeah,
are. So I could see
that's
it.
interesting.
I could see the fashion, and I could see also why too painting your nails when you're a lock. You want to go have your hands out, and you want them to know that your hands
Right.
are out. So I could see
Yeah.
it. I could see it.
Makes
Wouldn't be
sense.
my thing. But yeah, I think that right now, best on the board,
Ooh.
Filipowski being right there, you know, at number like 6, still not getting chosen in this lottery portion of the top 15 so far. Lakers pick is going up right now. What do you think about these Lakers and where they're going next?
So at first, I had Jurisic, and then second, my last pick, I had Daron Holmes potentially.
Let's see.
Oh, a traded pick.
Oh, we heard that one already.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Imagine Connect.
Don't connect.
Wow. Don't Connect is a bucket. JJ Redick. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Mr. Young B says JJ Redick will develop him.
Damn, so I was one off with Connect. Everyone had Connect in the top 10. I knew it. I had him 18. He went 17. Everyone was top 10 with him. I knew he wasn't top 10.
Man.
Damn. One
This
off.
new JJ Redick, Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, tomorrow's a big day too with Bronny James. We're going to see where Bronny James goes tomorrow, right? There's no way he goes first round today at all, right?
No,
Zero
because they
chance.
didn't take him here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I mean, I like Dalton Connect because he went JUCO. As I was saying earlier, I started off as a JUCO coach, and I really respect the JUCO grind. All those kids that come through and really put in the work, just because you don't have the grades, or maybe even just the lack of recruiting, bad coaches in high school, things like that.
Right.
Can really change if you go D3, D2, D1, or even unrecruited, and you got to go play at a community college like a JUCO, and so I respect it. Jimmy Butler, same thing. Came out of a JUCO, led his team to 2 NBA finals. So you can't say shit about a JUCO kid. Cam Newton led his team to the Super Bowl, won an MVP. JUCO quarterback.
Had to go to University of Florida and throw a laptop out a window first before he goes to.
Right.
No, but still before he goes to Auburn. But man, I love me some Cam Newton. That dude was a straight freaking baller. Man. But yeah, no, and this is Seth says respect to all coaches. So yeah, Hef. So our buddy Hef over here, he actually coaches AAU over in Charlotte. So he's got like his kids that play AAU and stuff. And so one thing Hef about Cam Patrick over here is that he's really locked into local like circuits, like just the deep underground of actual where the future players go and play and whatnot. So he's really plugged in as far as just basketball, across like local levels. So yeah, definitely Hef, you're in that camp as well. So yeah, it's really interesting to see like all these different players and sort of the different pipelines they come out of. So as you're talking about JUCO over here, it's yeah. I just like basically my whole life, I just went through the normal like circuit when it came to basketball. It was going through, just JV, varsity, boom, boom, boom. Wasn't any AAU type stuff, but man, it's a whole different world out there, and all these different sort of ways that players develop and where they go. And yeah, Hef is doing his thing right now in Charlotte right now too. So Hef, tell us how the squad is going. Last time I checked, they came runners up in their last tournament. So good to hear.
No, this is an awesome pick for the Lakers. They actually get a bucket next year, ready to go player. That's awesome. I like Dalton Connect too because he got some sauce. He's like a white chocolate. Right, he got the little Gucci on. His favorite rapper is like Lil Baby or something. Rod
That's
Wave.
funny.
JUCO kid. The new white chocolate. No offers, bro.
Chip on his shoulder. I love it. 2 big tournaments coming up for you guys in July and August. Possibly Nike Info. Stay locked in B2B. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Hef.
Now he's playing
Let's
with
go.
LeBron. Imagine that. Not getting recruited out of high school, bro. Feeling like a bum. Feeling like a bum, and now you're playing with LeBron. That's what hard work and dedication gets you.
Let me find out. You're going to be at Peach Jam. Nah, man, that's fire. That's fire. I mean, I don't know, man. This class I think is going to be a lot better than people make it out to be. We're going to come back next year. We're going to all say, oh yeah, we were ragging on this class too much based on Wemby and whatever. Because if we really do look at last year's draft class, it was really it was amazing because you had generational picks, but across from top to bottom, I don't know that it was the best draft class in the past few years.
Isaiah Collier. Oh,
the Silva.
He's
I like this though.
Power forward. What are they doing?
They gotta have more. Gotta have Isaac. Gotta have Wagner. Gotta have just more power forwards. You need more.
What? This is a strange pick.
I actually have no idea why they would do that.
But hey, we'll go with it. He's a decent shooter, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's German.
Silva. Yeah, you had him going to Denver.
Yeah, I had him going later, but I thought he was a great pick. But this early and this fit, I don't really agree with. But let's see. I mean,
more the fit for the Orlando Magic. So if he is more of a DeAndre Hunter, like Jordan Aurora, then it's I guess it kind of fits.
And honestly, Hunter wasn't really the best example of him. He's a lot less physical than DeAndre Hunter, but
JT is living the dream. He says German. That might explain the suit.
Yeah, he's wearing the lederhosen.
But it also might explain the Orlando edition as well. The Wagners might want to add another German on the team.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Gotta feel. Well, I mean, the Knicks are trying to bring all the Nova guys.
Franz Wagner's, the Wagners, and they get the German. Oh my
God!
Of course.
That's what it is. That's what that is. And then also too, I mean, look at the Nova guys over in on the Knicks.
Right.
Yeah, and the same thing that we have with the Bulls as well. Maybe that's a new wave now, is to bring guys that have played with one another on the same team, right?
Chemistry.
So unlike R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson in the past, maybe they would have found a way to find those two guys on the same squad. Wow. Chemistry matters. Yeah, it's we'll see. I've never seen this happen so often in one draft where we're starting to see all these teams coalesce around different identities like this. Now we got Toronto next. Toronto with the next pick.
So I had the Silva at 28, but in my first mock draft, I had him at 20 going to Cleveland. I thought they needed a wing. It was shooting and everything, and he would be a great fit because he's like a skinny Niang. And, he could do way more in the league.
Skinny Niang.
Skinny Niang.
So he could do more than Niang. That's a huge plus.
Yeah, it would be, especially from a young guy like him, and to get better and develop. But yeah, I guess at 18, he's a great pick.
Yeah, Magnum Cola, we were just talking about that. You got the Wagners from Germany in Orlando, and now you have a third one over here. So, yeah, I think that's the German powerhouse going and building in Orlando. So, I think that explains that at least, right? Franz and Mo and the Silva. Bronny James is not in the best remaining picks. Yeah, well, apparently the whole thing is that LeBron, no matter where Bronny James goes, he's not going to go and force a situation one way or the other, or so he says.
Right.
Well, that's why teams are hesitant to go draft him too.
I wonder if a team is going to call his bluff.
Oh, sorry, guys. I said that I would close this by the next commercial break, and we'll roll a pack over here. I got a bunch of these rookie debut packs, so I'll do at least 2 for the stream today. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting up our wheel of names. Get you all in here. But I am very happy as a Heat fan and as a Bulls captain with the draft tonight. But I also felt the same way too when we got Justice Winslow a few years ago. So
these were big wins in the mid of the draft. You know, the middle of the draft is kind of sketchy, and you could kind of get some bums sometimes. I don't think that's what you got this time.
I hope so. I think Hollins was one of the the best picks though. I think that was a really good one. Who was that again? That was
I think he went
San
to
Antonio?
Detroit at 5.
Yeah, I thought that was like a really. This year's going to have a bunch of. I think as far as the actual class itself is concerned, it won't be as good as last year's class just because of how good Wemby was. But as an actual class of players that are going to be putting together some good performances, you know, for their teams and having X factors, I think there's going to be a very good class for that.
Hey, last year, you can't. I mean, you could say Chet was a rookie, but he wasn't part of the draft class.
Nope.
So there's that, and then I think there was another rookie that did well that wasn't even necessarily supposed to be a rookie, other than Chet. I'm forgetting somebody else had a full year off. So,
yeah, I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there were 2 players. Yes, it's kind of interesting.
Baylor, Shearman are guys that I would want to see go to contenders.
Of course, you want to see Tyler Kolek and Baylor Shireman. Man, Kolek's a shooter, and I mean Shireman, he's a baller. I like Shireman. Kolek will be interesting in the league. I don't know where he could actually go and if he'll fit. Just staying positive with Kolek. Good luck to him. He's undersized. He's really like 6 foot, 6.5 feet, and he just shoots threes.
Mm-hmm. We'll see here. As Toronto goes next. Maybe I could fit in this pack rip right now while this is going on. I think I could. Let's try it out right now. It'll take like 30 seconds. Oh no, it's back already. I'll do it next time. AT&T NBA Dreams Experience winners being at the draft. Oh, oops, Mr. Youngby, my bad. I didn't mean to give you that. I meant to give you the fire.
Who's Jalen? Jalen Tyson? Dish the rock? Jalen Tyson. Kalen.
Oh, woman on stage. Wait, another trade? Oh, wait, no. This is the one. The trade.
This is the old trade.
Yeah, old trade. Yep. I see that.
What's the play? For Banana Mac. Jacoby Walter, Grady Dick. They took Grady Dick.
Grady Dick and Jacoby. And he's wearing purple. It's like he knew.
Yo, that is so funny, bro.
And that's a very deep Toronto purple. Moby, Jacoby, Dick. Oh, TK, you can't see anything? My bad, dude.
But yeah, he's got more of like, if he's gonna be a lead guard and forced to, do more with the ball, I see him being more of a Tyler Hero. But without the rock, he's more of like a Tim Hardaway Jr., Grady Dick type.
Mm.
He's going to attack a shifting defense. He's not going to play make. Hero's got a mixture of playmaking with him. So let's see his trajectory, but he really goes there. I will say some of this is kind of funny because I feel like with comparisons and everything else in the NBA, not a lot of people like to attach a white guy to a black guy comparison, but vice
Yep,
versa.
yep, 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 yep.
But if you actually just really pay attention to the game, you could see like what people actually play like, and not everyone plays the same. So I think
No,
he's got a
100%.
little mixture of Hero and Grady Dick mixed into his game. He hustles hard on defense. He's a smart player. Just with the ball, I think he's a little too trigger happy at times, and he's young. He was a freshman that had to lead Baylor. There was a guy named Yves Misi who was the big man on the team. That guy
Yep.
can't do anything outside catch a lob.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's playing with guys who aren't even the most skilled, and he's not even all the way there yet. He is a one-and-done type talent, but I wish he played around more talent to really refine his game. It's going to take a few more years for him to learn and pick it up. He has the potential to fall out of the league. That's what I say about him. I think he's really high risk, high reward. But I like I said, I wish all these guys the best of luck. I'm not hating on nobody, but from my evaluation.
We'll see where Cleveland goes next. Cleveland's going to be next here on the board. So, I mean, they have Furphy as being the number one guy here that's left available. What do you think as far as who's the best left?
So, Furphy is pretty solid here. I think he brings a lot of what they need. They need a guy who cares about defense. They need a guy who really gives on defense. And he can space it, which they don't have. I actually like it because he's much better, I think, of Jetty Osman. Jetty Osman is solid, but he's better on a bad team, and you could rely on him to be the third playmaker. But where they want to go, they don't need Jetty Osman. They need a Furphy. So if they could grab Furphy, that's awesome. I'm also kind of rooting for them to take a ball handler because Garland and Mitchell aren't on the same page. One of them's got to go. And I think a guy that you could take to get better could be Isaiah Collier.
Isaiah Collier, gotcha. We're opening up a pack right now. The winner will go and get this pack. We'll see if there's any rares in here. Not really sure if there are, but we got these rookie packs here for our draft night tonight. And we got nothing here for you guys. I'm sorry.
No rooks.
Something for someone out there. It's got a couple of these quick rips. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do the customized packs. We'll do 20 seconds.
Spin that thing.
Let's see who gets it. Let's see who gets it. Let's see who gets it.
Ooh,
G-Bear. Or DCMG. G-Bear. Congratulations. There we go. Let's go back. We'll open up another one of these in just a bit. Gonna send that right over to you. Let's see right here. Congratulations. G-Bear. There goes one. You got a question in here, Patrick. Who are the Pels taking?
Oof. So, the Pels, I had them taking a guard in both of my drafts. So I had them taking Devin Carter at first, and then I had Rob Dillingham sliding because I knew there was going to be some funky trades. Someone was going to trade up. He was a very weird fit for all the bad teams that were early in the draft. No team really needed a young guard, a small guard that couldn't defend. It was kind of a unique situation, and I think he needed to be in the right place. In Minnesota, trading up created the correct space for him. And as I said, I didn't like him in anywhere. I think he would fail in any situation before 20. And luckily, 27 was Minnesota's pick, but they traded up and they made a good decision. So Pels hasn't taken a guard, like I said. So Devin Carter, guys that are still there. We could go with an Isaiah Collier. We could go with an AJ Mitchell. Another guy, I mean, Cam Christie could be an option. Max Christie's little brother. Murphy's still alive and well, so we could still get him in the pick. I know he's not a guard, but he's a defender. He's a true 3-and-D. Murphy is, by the definition, 3-and-D. French picks. So if they're saying this French pick thing, it could be Pacome Dadier, and they already know that in advance because I don't know why they just.
And that's why they're feeding it out here to us.
Yeah, I don't know why they said that because that was kind of. She said when we already got some French picks, so it sounds like they could do a French guy here. I don't know, but we'll see.
Kenny Atkinson, new coach for
came
the
in from
Cavaliers.
Europe. Pacome Dadier potentially. Who else could it be? There's a potential if it's a guy from Europe. We could see Keyshawn George, maybe Bobby Clinton, but
Jalen Tyson.
Wow, that's a reach. That's a reach, but this guy is a shot creator. And they need someone at the small forward
They do,
position.
especially to get rid of one of these guys. And it looks like Donovan Mitchell is going to be re-signed this year for a huge extension, and Garland's the man out.
That's good because they need a wing. None of their wings can score on a proper level. That's why I wanted Tristan Da Silva for them. But this is an awesome option because he wants to score, but he has a slower release.
I was just about to say that. That's a scorer's release. This guy has a
it's a very slow
shot.
release. He needs to be set. I don't know if it translates to the NBA. He kind of reminds me of Jordan Nwora just a little bit too, where Jordan Nwora really needs to be stationary and set when he shoots. It's a slow motion. It's a slow get up. Everything about it is slow, but he's controlled and he manipulates the defense a little bit. So let's see what he could do. But they need
I think if
big
anything,
time.
at the very least, a Beasley, a Beasley, would be sort of where he not Beasley as in the old Beasley, the number 2 pick. I mean, the one who played for the Bucks for the Timberwolves. What is it, Mikal Beasley? Not Michael Beasley.
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley. Sort of like a Malik Beasley. At the very least, you can be somebody who can score in set shooting situations. So here in Cleveland, that's what he'll be getting. Bailouts from. The Jared Allen, from Evan Mobley, from Donovan Mitchell on kickouts. So he's going to be out there ready to go and hit that 3-point shot. He's going to be dependent on that a bunch. Max Strus was, in that role pretty well last year, but he sort of can fall off a cliff sometimes.
Did Filipowski get drafted yet?
I do not think he did.
I want him for the Pelicans.
I do not think he has yet.
Filipowski for the Pelicans will be the pick. We'll see, but I think I actually like that for them. Some spacing from a big.
I like that too.
Or they could go a guard. They could go a guard, but they don't need wings. They're overflowed with wings.
Yeah, no, they already had Trey Murphy. They got Herb Jones. They're pretty locked down there.
Najee Marshall, Zion, Ingram. Bro, the list goes on. Dyson Daniels. They have so many wings. So they either need a big that could space or they need a point guard.
Yeah, I would say a point guard or a big to go and take after Valanciunas. And I do think somebody who could space the floor would be really good. Because if you have Zion, Zion Williamson and pick and roll action, you want somebody.
They got Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes can't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jackson Hayes. Where is Jackson Hayes? Is he still with them?
No, he's on the Lakers.
No, he's Lakers. I'm bugging. Last year he was with the Lakers.
Who's
the other big that they got behind Valanciunas?
Valanciunas this year was. There really wasn't much. Mos Def.
Mos Def, he was the big.
Who was the backup big this year?
Filipowski. This is what I'm talking about.
Filipowski would actually be a really nice bet for them.
He
Hold up.
would. He
I'll
would
look
be
this
the
up right now. This
perfect
is
pick for
bothering
the
me.
Pels. And he's falling. I love him. Right. He does.
Yeah, I guess last year the backup center was Cody Zeller.
Zeller? Oh, yeah. Then you need
Well,
space.
Larry Nance Jr., Cody Zeller,
Yeah.
Najee Marshall. That's your backup centers last year. Yeah, so I still think that the gaps on the New Orleans Pelicans would be getting a point guard, a true point guard, and then getting another big for Valanciunas. And Anunoby stays with the Knicks. That I saw. Yeah, Magnum Cole. I was 100% positive that was going to happen, and overpay a lot.
Wow.
Easy.
What a pick.
I think this is the right pick for the Pelicans to make.
They already got like bigs like this, so I guess it plays into the system that they have set. And I mean, he's gonna do what Zeller does. He's gonna, just roll and rebound.
Yeah, I think this is a fine pick for this. Is it above? Yeah, but still young. He's raw. I see all that, but still, yeah. I mean, this could be like another Jackson Hayes just replacement, a project backup athletic, big.
Yeah.
Because as you said before, I mean, the team is pretty much, I mean, they're pretty rock solid. If you go and you draft a point guard, are they going to play over CJ McCollum? Are they going to play over what's his face? Their other rookie, Jordan. Why am I forgetting his name right now?
People thought I was crazy for saying Collier would slide. Look at Collier.
Jordan Hawkins. Yeah, Jordan Hawkins. Like Jordan Hawkins, I think is going to play a lot more next year. I think CJ's going to be running a lot of point guard next season. We'll see more Dyson Daniels as a result. There's just going to be a sharing of the point guard duties, I think, next season. So I think bringing up a backup big is exactly what the Pelicans need. It's not the sexiest pick, but you never know sometimes with these guys. Show the game tape. That's what I want to see. Oh, and then I saw in here a question: is Bi staying next year? Bi leaving, or I riot? I think Bi is as good as gone, but I think he will riot when he goes somewhere else and has a better track to success. I don't think that him and Zion were ever really much of a fit together.
Yeah. Where do you think he could go and have success?
Man, it's one of those things where actually I think if I were the Pacers, it's great to go and bring in Pascal Siakam. I almost wonder what would have happened if they would have held out for a year. And you made the Western Conference Finals. That's great, but I think that Bi would have been a great fit for that team. But I don't know if they're going to be able to afford him. I think that we'll see what happens with Paul George, where Paul George is going. I think Brandon Ingram could be a nice concession for the Philadelphia 76ers if they want to go and make that kind of. I think the Philadelphia 76ers are going to make some kind of run at a big, and so I think that he could go over there as well. But I think that the 76ers would be the perfect team for Bi because Maxey knows how to create on his own, Embiid knows how to do his thing. I think of Bi is a third option, but he's like your surplus number one option off the bench, leading a bench, unit, and you can have Maxey and Embiid sort of rest during that time. He can hit you with a nice punch off the bench with some of these guys. So I think he'll do really well in situations like that. I think you can also see him too. What happens if Atlanta decides to go knocking and say, hey, you know what, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, do we got a little something here? I think that would present itself a very interesting opportunity too for both teams to keep Trey, bring in Bi. I think that would be a very interesting move for them as well, given what they just added onto their squad. Those are the main teams, I would say. Yeah, I think Atlanta's a very good option. We could see with the Bulls too. DeMar DeRozan. What's going on with him? Just these are the types of teams that are going to be going for Brandon Ingram. So I wouldn't be surprised to go see him go to one of these squads like the Chicago Bulls, where you can't be much worse than you already have been in the past year, and you add in a guy like that, and suddenly his stock sort of goes up because he's the best of a pretty bad team. So,
yeah. Yeah, the Bulls are going to be an interesting team this year. Do they have another? Let me look if they have another pick later.
I think that's it.
That's it, right?
I think that's it. Yeah, because we traded all of them from the Boots trade.
Right.
And then I think we have one more year for the Boots trade for us to like finally get back like all of our picks. We haven't had a draft pick since Patrick Williams. And this year, of course.
But man, they get Bozelis. Holy cow.
Trust me, I'm gonna hang on to that, brother. And he's a shit talker too on top of that.
He is.
I'll take it.
Like he's the type of guy that might end up being the third option on the team when they're the best version of themselves. But that's going to be the guy that they really like form the team around, and he's the glue. He's such a good player. I don't know if he's ever going to be that 25 a guy that's going to be the one that leads the team as the number one option, but he will be in that final picture if they do become a great team.
Maybe like a Chris Bosh, get that help block, but ISO him a little bit every now and then. He won't be the main guy, but he'll be that guy that without him on your team, you really feel it.
Like an Andre Karolinko.
I love that comp. I love the Andre Karolinko comp.
Something like an Andre Karolinko, bro. He could bring that. I got him labeled as like an Antoine Walker because I think right now he has the defensive tools, but offensively, that's what he could bring to the NBA. I think defense, he's going to take a little bit more time. He's still very young. He's got time to put on weight. He's got time to get stronger. But yeah, AK-47, Andre Karolinko. He's got a lot of similarities to him. He's very young. But he's got that fire in him. So I believe.
Nah, man, I love that. And yeah, thanks, OA Market Crash, for stopping by inside of here to go and we're doing everything. It's been an interesting summer. Pack Drip. We're doing soccer right now. We're doing Copa America and Euro Cup. So, the NBA season just ended last week. So I was looking forward to taking the nice little break, hanging out in the sun, not doing anything relating to live streaming or anything like that. But then they want to drop that on us. And so now we're getting in the mix of, okay, we got the draft, and then we're going to have the NBA, signing day where everybody's going to be able to start signing. And it's going to happen really quick, man. But yeah, man, why don't you let everybody else know, like, what else, are you, working on in the space? What are some other things that, you got going on? Like, what are you up to these days?
So as of right now, I've been writing some articles. I did my first mock draft, my second mock draft. In between that, I also did an article about the WNBA contracts.
Nice.
And one of the best and the worst contracts in the WNBA. A lot of people are talking about, getting into Caitlin Clark and kind of into the hype of it. But I wanted to dive deep into the business side of the W. And it's a fun angle to look at. It's fun to see actually, what players are getting like these contracts for being on teams for a while, what contracts are just, they give to a vet to just fill up cap space and everything else. And when a team tries to build from there, do they run into those roadblocks of, oh, we paid this player too much? Let's see about this pick.
Let's see this real quick.
De'Ron Holmes. Oh, I had him going to the Lakers. But, hey.
University of Dayton.
Yeah, the Flyers.
Coming in here, another, what's his face? Obi Toppin, another Obi Toppin alumni. I love to see that program churning out, like, NBA talent every couple of years.
Yeah.
Tumani Kamari, too.
Forwards.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he is.
My friend went to Dayton, and so I went to University of Florida, so he's always like, we're always talking shit back and forth, but I really do have a lot of respect for their program. I've watched more Dayton basketball games than I can count in the past couple seasons, but yeah, I like this. I like this pick a lot for the Phoenix Suns. They desperately need a guy like that.
Yeah, Holmes is a great pick here. I thought he could even go as high as to the Lakers at 17, just because of what he brings on defense. He's got a lot of tools. He can space the floor. He can even bring the ball up in certain situations, not necessarily as like a point forward or anything, but just he's competent. So I like this pick for them. They needed a defender. See right here? Knock that three down.
Oh, I like this guy. I like him. I think this is exactly what Phoenix needs.
I would
They need
compare him to a Bobby Portis.
I like that comp. He's a disruptor. That's the first thing that came to my mind. He's a disruptor. You throw this guy inside of the game, and he's going to disrupt on defense. On offense, he'll disrupt also too, for better and for worse. I like this for Phoenix a lot. I think this is a great fit for them. They have versatile scorer, but the first thing that you went to, which I'll probably agree with that, is the defensive part. I think the defensive part is actually like more what he is more than a versatile scorer, just based on the small little sample size.
He's very impressive on the defensive end.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
what
still
Phoenix.
shocked about Filipowski. You know, Filipowski, I thought he was blue chip top 15 type talent. He's not a guy I expected to slide. I honestly thought he was going to go higher than I expected, and being like, oh, I should have known. I should have known. That was the one that I thought I was going to slap myself in the forehead on. Was Filipowski.
You know, it's one of those things where I just think that he's just one of these players that you sort of know you're getting when you get that. And we sometimes get too tantalized into what this player is going to be, the ceiling 5-10 years from now. And so people go and chase that, right? But sometimes you just need a guy who can go and do what you need right off the bat. And so Filipowski seems to go and fit that. Like, for instance, a guy who was a comp very similar to that and also fell in the draft was P.J. Washington. So P.J. Washington at the time was actually a guy who was known as like, oh, this kind of boring player, not a whole lot of versatility. You know, it was like you what you see is what you get with P.J. Washington. Then they go and they bring him inside the league, and suddenly like he doesn't really have a position, so he learns how to play all of them. Now he's playing small ball center for the Hornets, and then this year we're seeing him play with the Dallas Mavericks, and he's able to go and play this 3-4 position, switch out a bunch of players. So I think sometimes you have to go and sort of take these guys that come in with a certain pedigree and really just take what they do the best, but don't just limit their future opportunities because you've seen the best from them. Go and lean on those talents to see what else can be there that you can go and scrape. So, Kai Jones can go and tell you a little bit about that. I don't know if he'll ever be back, but sometimes you chase talent, but it's not quite the same.
I really wonder who could be picked right here. You know, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, they say. And there's a lot of ways that this draft can go. It all depends on what the Bucks want to see in their future.
This is your Milwaukee team too. You like the squad, right?
Yeah, I like the Bucks. I mean, Collier this late is crazy. So I think it's worth it to pick Collier. But I can see a little bit of Furphy because that fits with Giannis and where he can play. Terrence Shannon is another guard who attacks the cup. I don't like his shot that much, just being honest. And then there's Bobby Clintman, who's like a future pick who could work out, but he's going to take some time, kind of like Giannis, 2 years away from being 2 years away. But when he hits, he's got all the intangibles and the tools to be a great player, but he's got to put it all together and really understand the game. So we'll see where they go. Keyshawn George is who I have mocked. I think he's a great floor spacer, but Filipowski could be the next Brook Lopez to put next to him. So there's
I think that's
what
they're going to go with.
Yeah, there's 5 guys here who I like.
I think that's what they go with ultimately. So Cam, what's the count right now for Cam Thomas Top Shot debuts? How many are you sitting at right now?
Yeah, a little over 800 Cam Thomas Top Shot debuts.
Controlling the market. And there's exactly 5 left at $4, so I'm buying those right now, and then I'll shoot you them right over.
All right, cool.
I want to make sure that we get them before.
But yeah, I'll be at like 805 or something. I just passed 800 yesterday.
That's crazy. That's almost my entire collection.
And then now he makes up my entire collection. I've pretty much sold off a lot of my stuff, and I'm going all in on Cam Thomas rookie cards. And I've been right so far. He's averaging about 23 points a game, and Mikal Bridges just got traded away. So there's no one else truly that's there. But it's like.
And what's your price that it would hit that you would suddenly be like, oh, I'll go and I'll I'll sell it. I'll sell it. Like, let's say for instance, last year when he's on a scoring run, I think it went up to like $8 or $12. I want to say. So,
Yeah.
like, did you sell off a bunch of them during that time, or were you like, nah, he's going to
I
keep this stuff
sold
all
I
year?
sold them just because I know how Top Shot is, and I know I have to sell when it gets hot because it's going to cool
Right,
off.
right.
So it went to about $10. I sold about 50 of them, got that money, and then it dropped right after, and then I just started buying them back up at $3 again. So for the 50 that I sold, I got back probably 100 of them for that price. So I got 50 for free just by doing
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's just trading up, trading back, doing what I got to do, but slowly working my way up. And the TSS on them is pretty high right now because I've had them for so long, and it fluctuates on occasion. So it's helping me level up. I like it.
Nah, man, that's what's up. And I know on WNBA, you made some plays too this year. We have a lot of guys in
Bro.
here who are WNBA guys. And I think it was you, it was ESPN NYC. Some of you guys were out there making some moves. I mean, but I know you've been with WNBA like even way before they had,
Dog,
they put the product out.
dog,
Listen to this real quick.
I bought like 6 Asia Wilson rares. Oh, hold up. AJ Johnson, that was my first draft. My first mock. I hit it, and this dude wasn't even supposed to get drafted. There's people who don't have him in the second round.
Damn.
I knew it, and then I have him going even in my final mock draft. I have him going about 6 picks later in the second round, early to who? The Bucks. No matter what, I had this guy mocked to the Bucks at 33, and I had him mocked at 23. No matter what, I knew the Bucks would pick this guy. I had it. I felt it in my bones. The same thing that happened with Marjan Beauchamp. Exact same thing.
But can they develop him? Because Marjan Beauchamp is stuck in no man's land. I love that dude. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he another Jordan Nwora? Is it just going to be somebody who just gets moved? Like, I don't know. It's it's a weird thing, but we'll see. Because the other guys, there's AJ Johnson, and they also have AJ Green also, who had some moments last season as well.
AJ Green, yeah. I'm surprised I respect it that you named AJ Green because not a lot of folks know who he is.
Hey, you know what? I've seen him a couple times. I don't know what he's going to be. I just wanted to see more of him, and they didn't play him enough last season.
Yeah, he's a great hustle guy.
Yeah.
He is. I like what he offers.
Yeah,
AJ Johnson, this guy's fun, bro. I'm so glad.
I'm watching him right now. Yo, I like this kid.
He's got a lot of high top-tier potential. He's got a little bit of KPJ in him potential.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me a little bit of the Thompson twins. He kind of does a little bit of everything. I really like. This is a great pick for the Bucks. Son of a bitch is a great pick for the Bucks. Great pick also for the 76ers. Damn all of you, and also for the Heat too. The entire East is getting better.
He is a great option.
No, but yeah, this is great for your Bucks, man. Or is it your Bucks or is it your Celtics until the season starts?
I mean, like I said, I've said it before. I grew up a Celtics fan my whole life. When they traded Paul Pierce, I said, I'm gonna always root for the Celtics.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start picking like players. Like I'm gonna be fans of players as I'm getting older. I'm kind of just like, I couldn't be stuck with one team. I actually had different interests. So I don't know. I like Giannis a lot, and I just said I'm going to root for this guy Giannis and whatever team he plays for. Now, same thing. I'm a big fan of Cam Thomas. I think he's going to be a great player, and I wear the Brooklyn jersey just to support. Like I just think there's certain guys that have a lot of talent, and it's hard for me to just not root for guys that I think that are going to be great. I don't want to hate and say all these guys are going to suck or whatever. I got to give credit where credit's due. And I think some of these guys are going to be special. And, Tatum, knowing that Tatum was going to be so special pre-draft and the Celtics pick him at 3, I'm like, that's awesome too. Because now I know I'm like, this is a team that I could actually get back to loving.
Well, we're definitely going to go and invite you for the Chicago Bulls, stream when we get to go and watch the debut. Of our new draft pick because, man, you're going to have to go and ride this with the community now.
Big Buzelis fan. I'll come on for Buzelis.
Buzelis is now, you got to ride and die with him. We're all riding and dying with your mock. Listen, like our friend over here, Magnum Cole, is all the way from Germany. Your mock draft has made it all the way to Germany. He's going to go to his friends and he's going to be like, yo, I was in this, just stream last night, and the mock draft had Buzelis, at number 1, but he went to the Bulls at number 11. Like, either the best prediction of talent in here, or just one that we're going to go and forget? What's it going to be? But it's
What's
all
it
the
gonna
way
be?
there now, Cam. It's all the way in Germany. What do we,
All the way in Germany. Shout out to the Lederhosen.
No, but honestly, no, man.
Tristan De Silva.
Oh no, yeah, he was talking about De Silva in here before. He was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
his family was
brother is
wearing the
still playing in
Lederhosen.
Germany.
I'm not being a jerk. He really was.
No. I mean, no. I mean, it's one of those things where we're so appreciative of everybody
Right.
around the world, engaging with us, because the way that I see it is that I would rather go and bring guys like you in to go and do this and kick it with us on stream than I would there's a lot of other people I can go prod and go do this and do that to go bring them on, but this stuff better than just 99% of the people that I know. And so I'm going to bring on the best every single time, man. So keep bringing it, because I can guarantee you that Buzelis, number one, very gunsy pick is going to come out to being like one where you're like, yep, I remember the dude who went and said that beforehand. How do you think Kevin Pelton is freaking up here with all of this stuff, right? All these projections. You got to stick with your guns sometimes. And every time he gets on a podcast with Zach Lowe, he's always like, yeah, according to my projections back in 2016, I had him in this model doing this and doing that. And it's like, damn, one guy, for instance, that you told me about 2 years ago, and that I was completely wrong about, was Chet Holmgren, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was not big into Chet. I was like, I don't really know about this guy, and just I don't know. But then you were like, listen, even if you don't believe in the talent himself, him being on OKC is going to change that team.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you sold me.
Buzelis has a little bit of that Chet attitude.
I was thinking that when I was watching I'm like, when you said the third best player on your team that could win you a championship, immediately when my mind went to Chet. It's just that's probably what he is going to be for the OKC Thunder. Now, I don't know if it's going to be SGA at 1, and then maybe J-Dub at 2 is maybe not going to work for them to win a championship. Maybe they got to sell that and go somewhere else. I don't know. But at least with SGA number 1, Chet number 3, I think you got 2 foundational pieces right there.
Right.
So, but I do remember that from a couple years ago.
But now the Bulls need to find their actual number 1. Maybe that happens next year. They're going to probably be bad, So I think next year their draft, Obi White should be their second best player in their final rendition of it when he develops. You need to find your A1, and then you got Buzelis. And you got Patrick Williams to be that number 4 too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Patrick Williams is
he's still young. Dalton Connect is older than Patrick Williams.
Dude, I know.
Patrick Williams has been in the league for 3-4 years.
Listen, it was hard. I had to go and I had to sell my condo on Patrick Williams Island. I had to downsize to just like a 1-bedroom household. Yeah. But I still own one though. But I had to go from the nice condo that I had, the nice, the nice penthouse that I had for Pat Williams Island, and I had to go sell all my ego and all my stock. And now I'm stuck with a 1-bedroom house, but I still got one though. So that's what I got. But yeah, of course, he's still very young. He hits the position of what every team needs, basically, right? Look at how much money they just paid for OG Anunoby, $221 million. I don't care what you think. I mean, yes, he is the key for what the Knicks could do last season. But to me, if you're bringing on Mikal Bridges, do you really want to drop an extra $221 million plus on? Maybe you do. I don't know.
Here are the Knicks. They have back-to-back picks. Okay.
Miami.
So my final mock, I had him going 23. He goes 24. I had him going to the Bucks at 23. I know my old draft had AJ Johnson, who they actually did pick at 23. So I was close. I had the 23 and the 24th pick somewhat near each other.
Listen, the only reason why you didn't your whole thing changes with the Buzelis pick. So now you're all in on Buzelis. All your chips are in this year. Your entire cred for next year. If not, then I can't invite you next year. I'm gonna have to go and say, yeah, the guy who went and said Buzelis number 1 and he sucked this year. Can't invite. I'm just kidding. But getting back to the Knicks, having OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, spending so much money for them, yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna 100% work. It's going to be great. They're going to be the team to go and have to go beat besides the Celtics and besides, the Philadelphia 76ers when they're done with free agency. But, if I can get 2 comparable wings, sort of like a Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, which is what the Pelicans did, for a quarter of the price. Now I get to keep my draft picks. All I got to do is pay those guys money. I pay them their extensions, but I get to build my draft assets around those guys. But even still, this pick right here tells you that the Knicks were so littered with picks that they could still pick 2 picks this year and build around their team that they have this season. In the future, we'll see. So how big is Keish?
6'8". He's huge.
How big is he?
Like a legit 6'8".
He looks bigger.
Right? He's like Trey Murphy, where they're listed at like 6'8", but you're like, that's 6'9", 6'10". You know, there's a couple guys like that, but yeah, he's one of them.
That is a lot of length in New York.
Yeah.
Man, they must be feeling it from the Isaiah Hartenstein thing, because he's probably gone. They're just like, we're going to lose him, but we're just going to add a million wings on this team just to go make up for it. I mean, that's the way to go, though. Damn. Yeah, the Knicks are pretty much done every other year for the next couple years in draft picks, but oh man, that's a fire move. And yeah, it's going to be Cam Thomas season. My favorite thing with Cam Thomas is that he defies everything in basketball analytics completely. Yes. Nobody can figure him out, but the one guy who loves him up and down is Zach Lowe, who is the guy for basketball analytics. But like, he's the one who constantly talks about just like this high level of scoring that he can do. And yes, he gives up other things off the floor, but it's like, we've never seen the guy who scores at clips in the way that he does like this at this size. And yeah, man, I'm excited to go see your article on it. I'll share the hell out of it. And he's a two-way player. A lot of people like to go see him as just a one-way player, but yeah, on the right switches, you'll exploit him. But yeah, you're exploiting the same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. You're exploiting the same thing with Jalen Brunson.
Thank you.
Same exact thing you're doing with those guys, right?
Yeah.
It's just like scheme-wise, you got to build around those schemes. So it's different when you go and you have OG Anunoby on a switch, versus having Cam Johnson. Yeah. I don't even know who's left on the Brooklyn Nets, to be quite honest. It'll be Dennis Smith Jr. going and fighting with Cam Thomas. I get those two guys confused all the time on the floor.
Dennis Schroeder's probably going to be the starting point guard. Cam Thomas at the 2.
And then DSJ probably backing up those guys.
Yeah, probably Cam Johnson at the 3, maybe DSJ at the 4, Nick Claxton at the 5, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So where do you see Bronny James going, and do you think he's going to actually be any kind of player in the NBA?
Man, I don't want to rule that out. I wish he can be. I think it'd be more fun to have Bronny in the league than out. If he was a nobody, that's no fun. But to have him actually be something, even if he's GP2, Gary Payton the second on some team on a winning squad, he's the 9th guy. He comes in, he really gives an effort some nights. He plays like 15, 20 minutes on a random regular season night. He might come in the playoffs, make a couple clutch possessions in a game 3 somewhere at home. I hope he could do at least that. Because, yeah, he really is on like a Davion Mitchell, Gary Payton the second type level. I don't see him really surpassing that just yet. We'll see where it goes, though. But he doesn't seem to have that elite ball handling skill to be a point guard in the NBA. And he's not big enough to be a shooting guard.
He's in a weird place.
Yeah, he's about 6'1".
What's funny is we had Jacob over here on stream a little while ago, and when I told him, I was like, so who are some guys that you're looking at? And then, he mentioned Bronny James. He's like, first of all, I think he's better than a lot of people make him out to go in and being that pesky guy out there. He could just figure out a competent 3-point shot, but just be out there to just disrupt out there. I think he can actually, do that. And then he brought it up, interestingly enough, even for us as Top Shot collectors, bringing up like the fact that a Bronny James Top Shot debut is going to be a very funny thing to throw out in the marketplace.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of collectible that's going to be. Is it going to be the one that goes and gets thrown into your closet, or is it the one that you, I don't know, you bought and then all of a sudden he's much better than, just, I don't know.
He's probably going to be priced higher on Top Shot no matter what.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to be like this, like, oh, I got Bronny. Yeah. So
it's gonna be a funny experiment because, well, in general, because yes, it's an NBA Top Shot portion of the product, but it's going to be interesting to see how people want to collect that or don't want to collect it. How do we curate demand based on potentially one of the best athletes, NBA players of all time, son coming to the NBA, who's a marginal NBA player at best? How do we value that as a collectible?
Right.
It's going to be funny.
So I had Furphy going here in my first mock. My second one had Jacoby Walter, but he already got picked. Oh wow, Bacoma Dadier, the French guy. He's really young. He might be a stash pick.
18 years old.
Yep.
Dude, what is this? What are these French players and what the heck?
I know, everybody from France this year.
And I get it's not like, the most heralded, draft, but I mean, my God, somebody in here is going to go pan out.
Right.
I've never seen so many from one country get drafted in 1 year and dominate the entire, first round.
Paris, the Olympics in Paris this year.
It is. And we'll have it over here for sure.
Guys coming out.
Knicks love the international players. Oh, yeah. I'm sure, when Danilo Gallinari went and got drafted, and I heard nothing but boo, boo. And I remember that because, and it was funny because I went to the Miami Heat watch party, and I think that same year, Darrell Wright got drafted, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody got drafted, but I remember the entire stadium going nuts when Danilo Gallinari got taken because we have a lot of New York fans over in Miami, and so people were going nuts. Like, they hated the fact that he got drafted.
I bet they.
Porzingis, another one too.
A pick like this makes me a little nervous. It reminds me of Juhan Begarin that the Celtics picked. He was a French wing, very young, very unpolished. And this guy, from what I watched, reminds me a lot of Juhan Begarin.
That's interesting. Man, that's a throwback name. No, but I think this is a pretty good pick for the Knicks.
He's an 18-year-old kid who can't play defense, and you put him on Tibbs' team.
Well, I think it's a nice project pick.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice project pick.
I would have liked Tyler Smith here. I think he would have been a great option for the Knicks, especially with Randall, maybe on the way out if they want to do something different there. Maybe they do stay with him. But definitely for the next generation, Tyler Smith, I think, would have been solid for the Knicks on back-to-back picks. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Who knows about Dadier? They've taken European players before with Porzingis, with Frank Ntilikina, as you said, Danilo Gallinari. So this is what they go with.
I think Ntilikina was a Mavericks player, but then they traded for him, but he was still there for a moment.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He did get drafted by the Mavs.
Yeah, he was in the Mavericks for a while. Frederick Weiss, that's another one, too.
Wait, Frankie Smokes. He went to the – did he start with the Knicks or was it the Mavs?
Well, in general, it could be worse. You still have Jericho Sims. I am not a big Jericho Sims guy. Man. Anything but that is your third backup big. And you do need three backup bigs because, you have Mitch Robinson, who's never been able to stay healthy. Hartenstein is probably gone. And, you have a lot of glut right there. Off topic, Mexico losing against Venezuela right now. Never would have thought that. Magnum Cola, that's nuts. My wife is watching with her Venezuelan friend right now, so I'm sure they're going nuts right now watching that. My wife's gonna come back home tanked, I bet.
Oh man, that stinks. But yeah, Ntilikina, drafted by the Knicks, played their first 4 seasons, and then Dallas he played after. But yeah, they really like these guys that are international, so that makes sense. They're kind of sticking with their theme.
Yeah, no, it's we'll see. And now we have Washington again.
A
So
proposed
they got
trade.
Oh wait, I think somebody got traded.
Yeah, there's a trade going on right now.
Yeah, so Magnum Cole, this is like the worst Mexico team maybe ever. Like they are very, very, very bad. Everybody's gonna make waves about how well Venezuela did to go and win this game, but like they played against Ecuador, 10 of their guys compared to Venezuela's 11, and Venezuela still almost lost that game. And then Mexico was just really, really, really bad. Like they're just awful. So I would say Panama could beat them. Costa Rica could beat them. Any of these teams could go and beat them. And traditionally, Mexico beating them like 3-1 in the past. So
the Thunder just traded for this pick.
I guess so. Let's go take a look real fast. Let's see. Adrian Wojnarowski. I hate this. I look up Woj, and then I get this shit.
Fake Woj.
All right, so what we got over here, the Knicks are trading number 26 to the Thunder. Yeah. So this is going to the OKC Thunder. What the heck did they trade? Is Gordon Hayward going? No, I'm just kidding. He's not going anywhere.
What is the trade? OKC. At a Weber State? Oh my God, this is a reach by OKC. Holy cow.
He's going to, yeah, they traded for him.
Yeah, I know.
They traded for this. So let's see. I don't know. Man.
Wow.
You know what? They want to have a little bit more playmaking with Giddey gone, I'm guessing.
Right. Wow.
This is a bulky dude.
Yeah, Duke or who? That's a shock. I didn't like he's so low D1 and really wasn't talked about throughout the draft process at all. I liked him. I liked him enough to put him on my board. He's in the second round, but that's cool that he's there. I even think I might have dropped him a little bit just because I was looking for things on him, and the more and more I looked up, everyone was saying undrafted, and I'm like, I'll keep him on to Detroit, keep him with some hope, but that's good. Good for him. This is a little bit of a reach, but we'll see if this pays off.
Let's see. And speaking of paying off, guys, we have another pack over here to give away to you guys, so I'll do that real quick. Give you guys another chance here. We're going to do a last call. I think we did keyword Cam for our friend Cam over here hanging out with us. So last call for you guys in here, and we'll add on an extra entry right here. So we're going to add on, let's see, Magnum Cole, Mr. Young B, TK, DJ Pasquale, A-Town Mafia, G-Bear, and Jagu. All right, awesome. Got all you guys right there. Let's see if anybody else goes and pops in. All right, and Patrick is getting in here too. Let's see. This time I'll do the actual rolling of the wheel first, and then we'll go and open up the pack. Maybe there's a hollow in there. I don't know. That's the whole thing of the lottery packs. You never know what it has, but it probably has just base commons.
Right. Most likely
So,
a trade ticket. But you never know. It's that lottery. There you go, TK.
or ATCJ, TK pulls
TK.
this one off. TK,
Uh,
congratulations, TK. We're going to go ahead and open this one for you. It's going to have your Brandon Ingram hollow. This man has wanted a Brandon Ingram hollow forever. It's the most random, because he's a Lakers fan, but he just wants the Brandon Ingram hollow.
oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he started his career there. He could have fell in love with him in the draft and been like, oh, my God, my favorite team. And now he's stuck. He's like, I want Brandon Ingram.
He wants him coming home.
Yeah.
He'll put out all the banners for him if he ever comes home.
Let's pull the BI right here.
Oh, not yet. Jordan Clarkson, but one more.
Low cereal.
King Crimson, nothing in this one.
Dang,
Sorry, my
Peyton
friend.
Watson.
It's okay. Play the lottery. It's But yeah. All right, we'll send you that over. King Crimson. Better than nothing. Yes, sir, my friend. And no matter what, you guys hopefully have had a good show with me and Pack Drip on today. I have had some fun. Hopefully you have as well, Pack Drip. I'm going to send you your moments right now, actually. So I have everything ready for you. And I'll send that also to TK as well to go move all this stuff out. But yeah, guys, we're going to obviously have more soccer the rest of the week. We'll have NBA free agency stuff pretty soon. I actually don't know when that is. I think it's July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. July 6th, Saturday, so 2 Saturdays from now, which is great for me because I need a break. All right, let's go do this. Oh yeah, so Cam, anyway, you said that you were doing your blogs, and are you still doing YouTube or any of that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I still do YouTube. So every Sunday I go live with my brother. We have a podcast called Too Generic. And
I've listened to it. It's really good, actually. I actually went to one of your live streams one day.
Thank you. Yeah, we go live every Sunday, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. And yeah, we really have a lot of fun with it. We talk UFC, we talk WNBA and NBA. Those are our main three things that we talk about. We'll dabble maybe a little NFL, MLB, but I'd say that's minimal in like maybe every other pod or something like that. But mostly NBA and UFC. Now W. We're talking about the W a lot because we're really into it. We go to the Sun games. We're big Sun fans. My whole life I've been a Sun fan, so we're always chatting that.
And where can we find you? On your channel. What's it called?
Oh yeah. So you can find me at Pack Drip on Twitter. But if you're looking on YouTube for the podcast, type in Too Generic, the number 2 and then generic, and then you should be able to find us. We're two generic white guys having a pod.
And you guys have the NBA season wrap up with Giddy and with Caruso over here. So I love.
Oh yeah, on the thumbnail, that's the hair swap.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Make sure you guys tune into that as well. I'm gonna subscribe right now. So I'm already subscribed. So there we go. And yeah, man, it's really cool that you do this. I mean, I really do think you do some of the best stuff. Let's hear what's going on now.
Terrence Shannon. So he had a court case he was battling,
Illinois,
and he really he climbed the mock drafts late because it took a little while for it to get cleared. He wasn't, cleared legally until a few weeks ago. So yeah, Terrence Shannon, he's a really good player and everything, hustle guy. So we'll see where it goes. He's got that funky form. I don't like his form, but I like everything else about him. He really drives to the basket hard, and he play makes. Very athletic guy at 6'6". He's a true shooting guard. That's his fit in the league.
I mean, that's what happens sometimes. You have somebody who goes through like a personal incident, and then suddenly their stock goes through the roof.
Kind of like
Just
Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller at one point he
actually
was
that would
going
be
through
a
that
perfect example. Yeah,
that charge last year, and everyone's like, I don't know, man. And then when it comes down to draft time, the guy's a baller, and it's hard to not pick him up
straight baller,
when your team
straight
needs it.
baller.
And he turns out to be innocent.
So without going back into like last season, were you on the Scoot versus Scoot over Brandon Miller, camp, or were you kind of like, and what do you sort of think of them as far as like where their careers are going?
I was more on the Brandon Miller side of things. That's really where I think it was the better option. I'm gonna take the wings. I mean, as I did with Buzelis, 6'9" shooting guard, small forward. What's Brandon Miller? 6'9" shooting guard, small forward. Like, I like these guys. I like the prototype. What's Tatum? Like a 6'8", 6'9", small forward, power forward. Now because of the team situation and how they're built. But yeah, like that's the prototype you want. You want to invest in a guy with high character, high talent, and a high motor. And as long as they got all three of those and they're 6'9", I'll take it. Like that's really what I'm into. And so yeah, that's really where I'm at. That's my philosophy.
I like that. Also, I think sometimes too, picking the best player that fits your team. I think that's what the Hornets did last season. Obviously, LaMelo's on the team already, so do you really want to bring in Scoot Henderson, ball dominant guard, to play with LaMelo? Like, what's the best case scenario? Scoot Henderson is the real deal, and so is LaMelo, and suddenly you have to trade one of those guys away. Maybe that's okay, but sometimes it ends up being Tyrese Halliburton.
28. Right, the lock-up defender from Virginia. Lock-up, bro. Can't score, but lock-up.
That's what the Denver Nuggets need. They need somebody like this to go and stave off some of the defensive pressure.
Yeah, this guy.
Aaron Gordon just abused too much on defense. Yeah. It probably also means too. I mean, I could say that Michael Porter Jr. I feel like he's the first one to go from that team. I don't know if it'll be this year, but we'll see. If Giddey can go for Caruso, who could go for Michael Porter Jr.?
He could go for some, honestly, like 3 picks. There's a lot of potential in MPJ and where he could go, and maybe some things that we don't know about his game yet.
So it looks like he's going to Phoenix. Day'Ron Holmes is going to Denver. That's what's happening right now. Ryan Dunn, they're going to get Johnny Knoxville as well.
Bro, look at this draft. Look at my mock draft and tell me, where did I have Day'Ron Holmes going in this mock draft?
You had him going, if I'm not mistaken. I'm over here right now. Number... Where did you have him?
Go look at 28.
I have Tristan Da Silva here that I see from yours.
No, I just sent it in the.
Oh, in this one. Okay.
Well, look at 28.
Yep. Day'Ron Holmes going to Denver.
Day'Ron Holmes going to Denver at 28.
And then Jalen Tyson at 29.
Yeah, but he ended up getting.
You have Ryan Dunn going at 31, at the top of the second round.
Yep.
Kind of interesting. Why don't we go through some of these guys that are here in this second half, or in this that you had predicted for the second round? So Ryan Dunn, Misi.
Misi got picked already. He got picked a little early.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Are you surprised that some of these guys got into the first round? And who in the first round going into the second round would you be surprised that happens to? Because obviously those two guys are going to go sneak in, so 2 guys are going to go and fall here. I think that's the only guys that you have in your second round that have been drafted already.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually.
Did Furphy get picked yet? Am I tripping? Furphy's still
I
out
feel
there?
like,
Oh my god. The Celtics should trade for Furphy. Or I mean draft Furphy. Why did I say trade?
yeah, he's still out there.
I mean Bobby Clintman, he's a great pick here. Tyler Smith, great pick. Christie's cool. He's like a really upside pick. But we don't know what he could really develop into. I haven't even seen Max Christie get good yet. Wow. It's late for him, but that's cool. Him and Keontae George. Keontae George is a shooter. Collier, he drives to the cup. So they actually kind of complement each other a little bit. I like that.
I like this. I like this a lot. By the way, Madam Cola, I definitely know what Jackass is. I'm surprised that Jackass has reached all the way in Germany.
Right?
But yeah. Yeah, Johnny Knoxville.
He was a football player, Collier.
He looks freaking stacked.
Yeah, he is. He got a blockhead. You can tell he's been playing a lot of football.
It's like freaking when I met Zach Thomas when I was a kid. I was like, why does he have no neck? Because the guy's like freaking like neck was like out to here and just like huge shoulders.
I can't imagine. Zach Thomas was a monster, bro. I love Zach.
Oh my god, yes he was. Wasn't very tall, but man, the guy was just a freaking mutant. Like when he was in our school.
Massive dude. Yeah, Collier here. What a pickup, man. Oh
I
my
like
god.
that contrast
If they let the
about.
Celtics pick Collier at 30, holy shit. That would have been crazy. Because you're not supposed to get a blue chip guy. This is a 5-star recruit. You're not supposed to get these guys at 29.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the problem with him. All year he was listed at 6'4", 6'5". When he went to the combine, 6'2", and everyone called him a fraud. He's going to be fun at Summer League, bro. He's going to put a pounding on some people. Like the way he drives, he just bounces off of guys. He's huge. Look at him. Throwing guys around.
No, he's brawny. Man, I agree with you. He would fit fantastic with Keontae George. Keontae's going to be moving around screens, and this dude's just going to be penetrating and kicking. But also he's going to have Laurie Marketing flashing on the outside. Zach Collins, he can still throw it on too. He's going to throw on some lobs for him. Yep. This is like the perfect player for this team. It probably also means that Colin Sexton is probably gone.
Yeah,
which is okay.
Oh, man. Yep, I knew it. I knew Rob Dillingham was on some weird stuff, and Collier would slide, but I still like him. I knew he would slide. I didn't know how far. Go Celtics, man. Go Celtics. Love this.
I know you had to have loved this. It was my favorite playoffs of all time. I had a blast all the way to the end.
Right, and it was good for you because you didn't really get into it too much with the Heat not being there, so you got to just watch it as a fan. Just love the game.
It was. I would say that the Eastern Conference left a lot to be desired. Yeah. The first round was pretty fun. Second round was a lot of fun as well. Before everybody got injured, but the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks series was so much fun.
As a Heat fan, these past few seasons, you guys were underdogs, overachieving, and like an animal with their back to the wall, like fight or flight, and that's what it was the past few years. Like, oh man, the heart races you must have as a Heat fan the whole time.
It was of course, but in the end, it was a really interesting playoffs how things panned out. The best team in the end of the season won it, so I mean I have nothing against the Celtics winning the whole entire thing. I think it would have been really interesting to go and see the Nuggets against the Celtics instead of the Mavericks. I think they would have beat the Timberwolves anyway. But, it was one of those things where escaping Jokic, I think, was a really good thing for Boston. But Boston could have also figured that out because they figured out everybody else throughout the entire year. So this is a team that a lot of times when you're watching the sport, they defy what is supposed to happen. When you lose Kristaps Porzingis, you're supposed to lose your interior defense. But they got freaking Derek White getting blocks with his finger. You got Jaylen Brown, swatting guys off a switch. It's just like when guys are able to go and step up in that kind of a way as a unit, then like what you've built successfully is a basketball team. It is a team sport. So this is one of the best defensive teams that I've seen. I think like one of the best ones I've seen in my life. Defensively, offensively, a lot to be desired, but like defensively, this team just locked it down. Drew Holiday on switches. Oh my God, no switch. Drew in the post sometimes on offense. It was just like Drew at the end of the day. I don't even know where he's going to be in NBA history.
Yeah,
he's a
Drew
champion.
Holiday's an interesting player. 2 rings, 2 separate teams.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why both first year in championship.
Yeah,
he
was probably the second best player on each of the championship run, second to third.
Yep.
Because man, there were times where I thought he could have won MVP.
I thought MVP
the finals this year because he played
first 2
so
games.
Well.
Once Game 3 happened with the blowout, that's when, or no, Game 4 I think it was. In Game 3 he didn't do so well, and then Game 4 was a blowout. But yeah, I thought the first 2 games he had an argument for, for MVP.
The first 2 games he was in the conversation for Finals MVP for sure.
I still think Tatum got a bit dipped on the finals. Like Brown was probably the best player of the playoffs for the Celtics, but Tatum in the finals was, towards the end, he did some really
Murphy
fun
and
stuff.
Filipowski, local kid, Massachusetts kid, Celtics. Let's get him. Let's get Filipowski.
Well, I see for Mr. Young B, I think he might have already told us, but that would be a great pick.
Oh, he said Baylor. Yo,
you said
you're
Baylor.
talking about Schraderman or whatever. Bill Simmons said it was going to be this.
The fix is in.
Baylor Shireman, the Celtics. Bill Simmons, he guessed it. No way, Baylor Shireman. They take the white shooter out of Creighton.
It's a Bill Simmons year, man. It's a Bill Simmons year. Yeah, he got that on the money.
He did. He really did. Wow. Man. Shireman going in the first round at 30, and Furphy and Kyle Filipowski don't get drafted, both invited to the green room, which is typically a top 20 pick lock. That's very interesting to see them slide to the second day. It's going to be fun seeing what happens, but man, Johnny Furphy is going to be the steal of the draft in the second round. You're not going to find a better pro-ready second rounder than Johnny Furphy.
Furphy, man. I'm waiting for it because, yeah, he was like pretty high up in like your final draft. So, I mean, for him to be falling this way in the, the Australians.
His stats are bad because they're a little bit of a lie because he was on the bench at first. And then when he started, his stats took such a huge jump, but you're only seeing the middle, the average of what it was from when he was a bench player to when actually he got real minutes and an opportunity to show his full game. Murphy's impressive, but Shireman, great player, smart shooter. He's not he played QB, but he's not the best foot speed. So that's really interesting. He's like Hauser, but Hauser could D up. Hauser's athletic.
Hauser is low-key athletic. I'm a big Sam Hauser guy.
Yeah.
I don't think the Celtics win a championship this year, and this is kind of crazy to say, without Sam Hauser being on this team. When their offense fell flat, Sam Hauser stepped up. Also, Sam Hauser is so athletic that I've seen him pick multiple pockets from top-tier players, including Luka Doncic. I've seen Luka try to go back this dude down, and Sam Hauser was like, nah, you're not doing that. And then he picked him and then took it the other way. I'm just like, man, Celtics always do this, though. So screw you guys. Get out of here. I'm just kidding. No. No. This was so much fun to go do with you, Cam. Why don't you go and tell everybody, before we go and log off tonight, It's been a long day for me. I'm gonna go hop off of here when this is, like we're ending the draft today. Obviously, we have the second round tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we're going to be doing the second round, but I imagine besides Bronny James, it's sort of like that's the main headline. But also too, we'll be looking at Furphy and seeing where he goes. But until then, go and tell everybody else. Cam, where do people find you? Drop your socials if you want. Whatever you got, just go and tell them who you are, where you are, and we appreciate you for being here. And those Cam Thomases are in your account, brother.
Thank you. I already locked them, by the way. You already know. But yeah, you can find me at PackDrip. That's usually where most people find me on Twitter or
I'll drop
X.
it here.
But you could also you could check my website. Is Quinlan Cameron at WordPress.com. I know it's not my full name, not PackDrip, but that's where I publish all like my professional writing and all of my sports journalism documents. I post there. And then Too Generic. That's my YouTube channel. And that's every Sunday. If you want to catch a live stream early in the morning, breakfast, lunch, brunch, whatever you like, that's where I'll be at, talking with my little brother Richie. And we have a good time. We get into some topics. We get a little unhinged. We have fun, kind of like how we did tonight. It's not this boring, his, defensive plus or minus and blah, blah, blah. We add some stats. We do our research. But that's not the only substance that we bring. We got some eye test stuff. We got some real things that we
I was actually there for your first show when you said that exact thing. You said, we may be two generic white guys, but we don't do two generic white guy things. And like you guys went in like that. I was there for your first show, I think.
So. Oh, yeah. We definitely said, thank you. Mr. Young B. Much love, brother.
He's good people.
But yeah, we'll be live soon. What's today? Wednesday. So yeah, we'll be live in the next couple of days. I actually think we're going to dive heavy. Obviously, we're going to cover the draft, but dive in heavy into the W because that's what's going on right now, and the season's over. So if you want to stay up to date about the W, the Lynx just won the Commissioner Cup, which is pretty cool. I don't think a lot of people had the Lynx going first in the Western Conference right now, and right now they're kicking butt. And they got their mixed lineup. Dorka Juhas, Bridget Carlson, going off. Elena Smith just got picked up in free agency from the Sky. They have this ragtag team. Letitia Heidemann, they got from the Sun. And now they're first in the West, baby. They're better than the Aces, the Storm, who have Skylar Diggins and Nneka Nwumike, who just got traded there. They're making moves. But I will say the Mercury is the ultimate sleeper in the Western Conference because Brittany Griner just came back from the broken foot.
Yes, sir.
And you got Kalea Copper, who was the Finals MVP. And never sleep on a Finals MVP because those are players who are the best when it means most. And she was the MVP when Candace Parker led the Sky to the Finals, but Copper finished it off. So stay woke to the Mercury.
And also, too, he also does a lot of his knowledge, and he puts that into NBA Top Shot. So NBA Top Shot doesn't allow us many times to go and take our basketball knowledge and be able to like make good on that. So I've done it in the past when there were very few moments. So for instance, when Jamal Murray got injured in the playoffs, I went and scooped up like 20 Monte Morris Top Shot debuts. They were each like $20, and then the thing skyrocketed to 80. Sold all of them. I felt very happy about that. There aren't as many of those opportunities these days, but because WNBA is such a new product and because they've calibrated that so well, Cam and many others have, or not, I wouldn't say many others, Cam and a few others have found how to go and leverage that marketplace. And
even Enrique Legendaries. I bought an Enrique Legendary for like $190, flipped it for $300 the other day. Asia Wilson Rares, I was buying them for $40 each. Now they're going for $140. Even Angel Reese, they were going for $25 when she first came out. Now they're going for $60+.
Yeah, now she's going to be apparently in the All-Star game and stuff like that. I mean, it's insane.
Angel Reese. So her moments are going to the moon. She's playing well. She could still win Rookie of the Year. Everybody's one injury away, and also she's leading the league in offensive rebounds. She's doing something that no rookie has ever done. So kudos to her. Shout out to her. She's got to work on the field goal percentage. It's like 35% from the field, which is not great for a power forward or a center. You're closer to the rim, so you want to make a lot of your shots.
So that's the whole thing, guys. Patrick has his stuff on lock, but he also says too, hey, you know what? I like this player. They got this low of minted moments, so I'm buying a bunch of these based on my analysis. That's what we do with Cam Thomas. He's like, Cam Thomas, he's a player who only has the Top Shot debut on the platform right now. He only
That's
has,
it. No legendary.
Well, and at the time when you were stacking, he didn't have a rare at the time. He has a rare now, but even still, just one rare and just the Top Shot debut and a couple commons. But the Top Shot debuts like definitely carry a lot when it comes to Cam Thomas. So I heard him earlier this year on the Connecting and Collecting podcast. We've had him before on the draft shows. We've talked with each other many, many times. There are a few people that understand how to take your basketball knowledge and still to this day, with all the fucking moments that Top Shot prints out, still make money on the platform. He does it. Very few people over there actually go do it, but he does it with a new league that has all this promise behind it. So
everyone's scared. They're scared and they don't put in the work. So I think
But you know what? But that's why I had you in here today, because I don't know the draft ever when it comes into this part of the season. By this point, I'm tuned out on the shit. I'm ready for free agency. I got my break between the finals and between now. You just educated me today. So when these bad boys come over here, in the marketplace, when we're talking about, free agency, I'm going to have all of the context you gave me tonight for a lot of these players, and I'm going to bring it in the future. So really appreciate you being in here, informing me, informing the audience. We'll keep up with you. And if you drop anything on Twitter, go ahead and tag us. It's all good. I'll freaking retweet the shit out of it and give it to the guys in here who you saw vibing with you tonight, because clearly they like your stuff. And Mr. Young B is going to be in your stream this Sunday. And I'm sure, as time goes on, we'll bring many others because, I can't do it all. I can't do WNBA. I don't know the draft like that. I got my secret sauce that I know with my stuff, but, you do your thing, brother. So much respect.
No bull. Thank you. Much love. Much love to you and the grind of the Boards to Buckets community. And also, I'd leave it on one thing. I got an article coming about Cam Thomas. It's going to be very interesting. And I don't know if you've seen the Ringer Top 100. Did you see it recently dropped? Cam Thomas isn't on the top 100 list of top NBA players. But he's tied for 24th in scoring in the league. And he's in the top 90 percentile and catch and shoot threes. There's a lot of things to really like about this guy. And also points per possession. He's, I believe, 15th or 16th in the NBA. And everyone above him is an all-star, all-NBA player. He's the only guy that's not in the top 20, I believe, and he's like 16th or 15th. So he's got a lot of promise, and the article is going to be called Voldemort, the name that you can't speak, because nobody wants to say his name on these lists.
That's true.
No one wants to say, "Oh, the
that
Nets
is
are going to be
true.
Great."
That is such a good
Mikal
thing.
Bridges
Oh my God!
Traded. They don't even say, "Oh, Cam Thomas is going to go off. This is his thing." They say, "Oh, they're tanking."
Zach Lowe's one of the few who have done that. Zach Lowe is he's interesting. I can't put my stock behind him, but he's interesting.
And nobody wants to back this guy, and no one wants to mention him when you're talking about the next up-and-coming players, top 25, 25 and under, 23 and under. He's younger than Anthony Edwards. He's got a lot of promise.
He's just miscast as a bad defensive player. He's just not that guy. Maybe he can't switch laterally, but there's so many players who fit into that camp, right? Aaron Fox.
He got labeled that from Steve Nash and Jacques Vaughn. And it just is what it is. And I know those guys that were point guards in a different era, and they were different type of players. Jacques Vaughn was a hustle guy. Steve Nash was a facilitator. This guy is more of a Kyrie, a Damian Lillard, a Steph Curry, like a volume scorer who leads the squad from the point guard position. And that's who he is. Like it or not, he's a guy like that. And I don't hear you crying when Dame Lillard takes 25 field goals. But if you guys realize after a few years, you'll learn that this is what he is and this is who he is, and he's a top star in the league. He's a star guard. He's not this guy like Lou Will who comes off the bench and he does whatever. This guy, I believe, has more to his game, and we'll see that this year. As much as they may tank, you're going to see a lot of his talents too. So
do you want to hear a comp that if he could figure this out down the road, that he would be such a different player?
Okay.
If he can emulate this, Chauncey Billups came into the league also as a gunner, a little bit smaller, right? But he's a guy that over time learned how to go and lead a team with just simple passing, but still took the 3-point shot when he had it open. And in particular, as a defensive player, nobody was moving that guy around either. Chauncey Billups was also not a very big player either. So I think that like it's interesting. You could definitely bring out the Steph Currys and you can bring out these other players, but like we need to
I'm
be
not
like
saying he's Steph Curry, but I'm
no,
saying
of
like
course,
a
of course. You're
25 a
saying the
game
high
point
volume
guard.
guys. Like
Yeah.
you don't have an issue with the high volume guy when he's hitting up at this clip and he's doing the same thing as these guys are doing. The only difference is that you have an acumen of a name and with pedigree with this guy and not with this guy. So
Exactly.
I'm right there with you. But I do think that if he wants to start making his way towards there, yeah, it's going to be next season, man. This Mikal Bridges thing was the best thing for your stack. It's only a matter of time.
I know, yeah. For my stack, for sure. For his development, it might hurt a little bit. Not
Yeah.
Player. Mikal Bridges plays 82 games a year.
Yeah.
He's the perfect role guy. He's the perfect, Robin.
And Cam Thomas's production actually went down when Mikal was not playing. And you would think that when Mikal's not playing, you get more shots, but no, it's his defenders get to basically go and attach themselves to you. So he does need somebody in that lineup that's going to pull something else away from him.
There was nobody else last year. Claxton was out a lot of the year. Day'Ron Sharp can't shoot. Lonnie Walker got benched. There was, Ben Simmons was going through his thing. The Nets are a mess.
It was what's his face who you just said was going to be starting at point guard. Schroeder. Schroeder came into the team.
Yeah, Schroeder got traded halfway through the year for Din Shitty. Din Shitty wasn't doing too good. Because of Kyle Kuzma. That's how Kyle Kuzma called him.
Oh my God, that's a whole other thing for another day.
Brother. Beef, right? That's a whole other thing. That was a funny beef.
The
Wizards, man. The Wizards are different.
The Wizards are so fun. They tore it up tonight. Like, I don't know if they tore it up. Like, they did something tonight. Like, they tried.
They did something. They got the French Christian Wood.
I got the French Christian Wood. Oh man, that's good. Oh brother. Well, you know what? I'll leave you to it because I kept you up obviously enough tonight. But man, like we really had a good time, and please next year again. I hope that you can consider that every time that we do a draft thing, like this is always your place to go and do this. Really do appreciate you teaching me so much about this. And when the W comes out, I'll send all my guys over there. Just go and tag me, send me like the thing when it's happening, and it's an easy little ping. And just, hey guys, you guys like WNBA? Boom, go here. I know we're going to be sending them to a good place, as they have seen tonight with you. So, brother, keep building, keep doing what you do. NBA, or no, not NBA, NFT All-Star Game Commissioner Patrick.
The Commissioner. Yeah, well, Dream, thank you so much. I always appreciate your support. And, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for having me on. I'm on Boards the Buckets.
Let's go, brother. Catch you later. All right, guys.